Hello, my name is Scott Anderson, and I am the Digital Learning Network Coordinator at the Marshall Space Flight Center. I'm going to give you a brief update on how we are using NASA's DLN to deliver professional development across the country. When I normally talk about this with educators, I like to break it into three categories. First, we have a series of programs that we are developing from scratch or within the DLN, and they usually are tied to an existing NASA education product or series of products, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the programs that we have in that area. Secondly, I'd like to point out that we are a network, and so at every NASA center we have a DLN studio and a DLN coordinator. Just as NASA Education has various resources and specialists across the country, we're able to utilize our network to bring a specialist from any center to any school that has this technology. And finally, I'd like to talk about how we are partnering with informal education partners such as museums, regional service centers, and NOAA, which is one of the partners that we're working with right now. So I'm going to talk about some of these efforts, and hopefully I can keep it exciting enough for you to get excited about what we're doing here. Now, the DLN has a series of original professional development video conferences or programs that you can sign up for at our website that were developed within the DLN. Many of these workshops or video conferences utilize existing NASA education topics or products and really go over some of the best practices on how to use them. So, for example, suppose there's a new video that comes out or a new educator guide, using the DLN as a way to deliver best practices video conference to teachers across the country is one thing we can do. Additionally, we also offer programs. This is one called Living and Working in Space, and it takes the topics that are connected with living and working in space, how we get to space, eating, sleeping, all of the fun topics with living and working in space, and identifies resources at each step of the way. And so we have a variety of programs that were developed within the DLN, and they focus usually on existing or new education products that were available from NASA Education. Now, another neat thing that we're doing with the DLN for professional development is we are working with existing NASA education projects. And so, for example, one of NASA's really neat resources is called the Aerospace Education Services Project, and that allows for NASA education specialists to go out and visit the schools. In the past, they traditionally had done this with a van, which had a whole bunch of resources on the inside. They would drive out to visit a school and were able to do professional development for the teachers there. Of course, that's great. It's really neat. Face-to-face is always wonderful, but it's just not practical in all cases to visit as many schools. And so we've been working with the project itself and trying to bring specialists into our studios. And so if they have a school that requests professional development on a given topic, we're able to locate a specialist at one of our NASA centers. It doesn't necessarily have to be the center that the request came in from, and try to bring them into the classroom using our studios and our network. So really good pairing there. In addition to that, if you think about it, the specialists are the ones who do go visit the schools, and so they oftentimes will get a first-hand account as to what the schools are looking for and what standards they're looking to find new programming in. So, for example, a pretty hot topic these days is force and motion, and so a specialist can put together a variety of resources and present one DLN workshop for a group of teachers that deal with different NASA resources that work with that topic of force and motion. So really cool partnership there, and although we do really spend a lot of time working with the Aerospace Education Services Project, we also are looking for existing partners and utilizing other ones as well. So whether it's developing new content or bringing a specialist into the studio to help us present it, really trying to find different partnerships and doing a lot of neat stuff in this area. The third and final thing that we're doing with the DLN in terms of professional development that I wanted to talk to you about is how we are partnering with informal education centers to deliver professional development. Of course, we have a great time developing our own content and working with other NASA education programs. But by working with external partners, we're able to deliver some of the content that we may not ordinarily be able to deliver if we stayed within NASA. And so, for example, one of the projects that I'm really excited about is this new one working with NOAA. NOAA and NASA are working on developing a student program that deals with exploring the Arctic and how NASA helps to contribute to that. But in addition to the student version, we're doing a professional development module that looks at a lot of the different resources offered by NOAA and by NASA that teachers can use in the classroom. So it's a great complement to the student version. But even if you don't participate in the student version, the educator version is really kind of robust and has lots of neat resources. So that's a quick look at some of the different ways that we are using the digital learning network here at NASA to deliver professional development.